Welcome to the video. China has finally made plans to end the rule of US dollar over the entire world. And if China succeeds with its plans, then everything can change. Today we will look at the plans made by China to replace US dollar with yuan, and we will find out if China can actually challenge the US dollar or not. So let's start. Right now, there is a lot of uncertainty in the global political and economical system. There's a lot of chaos happening in the world, and within all this chaos, Xi Jinping sees a wonderful opportunity. Xi Jinping wants to increase the role of China's currency in the global economic system. He wants the Chinese currency to play a greater role in trade and foreign reserves. And to increase the role of China's currency in the global economical system, China would have to challenge the mighty US dollar. Now this is going to be a very difficult task, but there are many things going well for China. First of all, Trump is playing a very aggressive role in global politics. A few weeks ago, Trump kidnapped Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro and took him to the United States. And now there is a chance that the United States and Iran are going to have an all-out war. Trump's economic policies are also very chaotic. Amid Trump's chaotic economic policy, the mighty dollar is falling to new lows compared to other international currencies, with investors going away from dollar to safe assets like gold. Gold is touching record highs. In all this chaos, Xi Jinping sees a wonderful opportunity where many countries are trying to find a reasonable and stable economical partner, and many investors are trying to find assets which are stable. This gives Xi Jinping a wonderful opportunity to increase the role of yuan in international trade and foreign reserves. A major challenge that Xi Jinping will face in replacing US dollar with yuan is going to be Donald Trump. Some time ago, Donald Trump warned BRICS countries that were trying to move away from the US dollar. He said that he would not stand by and watch US dollar losing its power. He said that any country which wants to replace US dollar will face 100% tariffs. He said that BRICS will not be able to replace the US dollar, and any country that is trying to replace US dollar will be an enemy of America. Right now in global reserve currencies, the yuan plays a very small role. Here you can barely see the role of yuan in global reserves currency, denoted in pink color. The majority of the world reserve currency is in dollar, which is denoted by blue, and a significant other currency in global reserves is euro, which is denoted by red. Although China's role in global reserve currency right now is very small, China has significantly increased the role played by yuan in international trade. The use of renminbi in international cross-border trade has increased a lot in the past 5 years. In this graph you can see the role of yuan in cross-border payments in the year 2010 was nearly zero. But now the role played by yuan has increased a lot. And which currency is getting replaced by yuan? The US dollar. Now it is clear that Xi Jinping wants the yuan to become a global reserve currency. A few days ago, in the Communist Party of China's journal, Xi Jinping said that China has to build a powerful currency that can be used widely in international trade, investments, and foreign exchange markets. He wants Chinese currency to attain reserve currency status. China's leadership has long said that China should increase the role of yuan in the international economical system. But the recent remarks by Xi Jinping mean that China will now try extra hard to internationalize their currency. Now the interesting thing is, why is Xi Jinping saying this now? Why is this the perfect opportunity to internationalize the yuan? The biggest reason is the chaos induced by Donald Trump. Right now, Donald Trump is creating a lot of chaos in the global political and economical systems. Now let's get to the plan that China is following to internationalize the yuan. China has taken measures to make yuan more attractive to foreign investors. China has increased foreign access to Chinese stocks, bonds, and commodities. China has also streamlined cross-border payments. China has also increased trade ties with many developing countries. Now they are much more likely to use yuan in foreign transactions. The use of yuan in trade has increased a lot after Western nations like United States and European Union imposed sanctions on Russia over the invasion of Ukraine. After the war in Ukraine, China and India have remained Russia's top trading partners. Last summer, China's central bank governor said that yuan is the world's largest trade finance currency, and he called for the development of a multipolar currency system instead of the dollar-dependent economical system. In the 2010s, the role of yuan in foreign trade was increasing a lot. The role of yuan in foreign reserve currency was also increasing. But in August 2015, the People's Bank of China lowered the value of yuan significantly. They did this to boost China's slowing economy at that time. China lowered the value of its currency to increase its exports and to bring yuan's value on par with the market-driven exchange rate. But this surprise devaluation caused a lot of capital flight. People sold Chinese assets. One thing you have to note is that investors really like stability. If there is chaos in economic policies, investors really do not like that. So after China's devaluation of yuan, international investors started trusting yuan less and less. There also have been some talks of a BRICS payment system and a BRICS currency. BRICS is a geopolitical bloc just like G7. BRICS nations have explored linking their official digital currencies to do cross-border payments without relying on the US dollar. The main backer behind this move is India, and Russia would also really like this system if the BRICS system actually gets into effect. But for China, they already have their currency and a Chinese payment system. So while China would prefer the use of BRICS payment system or BRICS currency rather than US dollar, instead relying on BRICS payment system, China would want to promote its own currency and payment system, which would give China much more leverage than a BRICS currency. But as you remember, Trump really does not like the idea of a BRICS currency or a BRICS payment system. So if BRICS nation move towards these steps, Donald Trump would most likely do something about it. Trump cannot really put tariff and start another trade war with China, so he would most likely target BRICS countries but not China. One reason why China wants to increase the role of its currency and its payment system instead of relying on the US dollar or the US payment system is that the current US system gives a lot of leverage to United States. United States can sanction any country and economically ruin it. But if a country is not using US dollar and US payment system and instead it is relying on its own currency and its own payment system, then the sanctions placed by Western nations like United States and Europe would not be able to do a lot of economical damage. So the biggest reason behind China's recent actions is probably to reduce the leverage that other Western countries have over Chinese economy. After China took measures to internationalize its currency and reduce its dependence on the US dollar to a certain extent, China's previous plans worked relatively well. In July 2024, 53% of China's international transactions were done in Chinese currency. In 2021, only 40% of China's international transactions were done in the Chinese currency. Since the 2010s, China has reduced a lot of its dependency on the US dollar. As you can see from this graph, the role of US dollar in Chinese international payments has reduced a lot and the role of yuan has increased a lot. Now yuan and renminbi is nearly the same thing. Renminbi is the payment system and yuan is the unit value of the currency. If in the future China wants to, let's say, invade Taiwan, or if China wants to do something that the Western nations like United States do not like, then they can use the US dollar and the US payment system to punish China. And with Donald Trump leading United States, the likelihood that United States uses its payment system and its currency to punish China has increased a lot. So it is obvious that China would not want to rely on the American or Western payment systems. So given this, China is increasing the role of yuan in its international trade, and China also wants to increase the role of yuan in the international reserve currencies. Now, how much success does China achieve in its plans? Only time can tell that. In the meanwhile, if you found this video interesting, then make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this, and thanks for watching.